What's up, you guys? Hope you guys are doing well. So even though I just released the guide a couple days ago for Cryptoblades, so much has changed. So I felt the need to update you guys on what I'll personally do moving forward, which may help you out. So starting out, before we get into the action plan, here's the little thesis of the game. So I currently believe skill is currently undervalued due to massive profit taking from veteran players. So there were previous promotions like people getting 5 skill for signing up, 1 skill for recruiting character, 50% staking, etc. So once these veteran players that played for the past couple of weeks started selling off, the newer people that just got in the past week started noticing this big sell-off. So they see a 20-30% drop, and then they think, oh yeah, this is a big scam. So they start selling off, which ends up being a 70% correction. However, I believe it's very undervalued, as the skill value will go up when crypto, not blades, but blades kingdom will go up after the updates released later at the end of the month, which includes cosmetics, name change, PvP raids, and ownership and sponsorships. Actually, these may even come up earlier in the month, which is pretty crazy. And currently, a lot of people are holding skill more as opposed to selling them, as they want to flip it for even more, as they have a very similar plan where they're going to wait until Cryptoblades Kingdom to sell a lot of their skill. So as more people hold and more newer players come in with the updates, this will create a shortage of supply with higher demand, which will cause a bigger rip up again, which will be a great time to take profits. All right, so here are new updates that will be implemented in the future to consider. So the first one is that older characters will be more powerful. So the ones that have been minted before will earn more skill, most likely, compared to newer characters that will be minted later on. So this will promote people buying the old characters in the marketplace as opposed to minting them, diluting the supply. And PvP is coming out, so this is going to assume, because you're wagering your skill, this is going to be assumed that you'll earn more skill in these battles compared to fighting and grinding these monsters. However, since you're faced with, as you start fighting, the battles will be easier, but as you win more and more, they get harder. So it's assumed that if you have the best weapons, like the 5-star weapons that match your attributes, and then you reforge them to the max, that you'll have a high chance of beating other players as you win more. And then there's another feature that allows burning of characters. So on top of leveling up your characters, getting these super strong weapons, reforging them, you can now burn characters into your character to make them even stronger. So moving forward, the best plan to make profits in this game could be the first option, where you make fewer characters, but they're all super OP so that you can dominate player versus player games. Maybe you can dominate the incoming raids, which we'll learn more about in the incoming weeks. So these are less accounts with less characters. So this would make sense if your return on investment is less than 1.2 months, which is currently for the normal monster grinding that we currently only have. So if it's less than 1.2 months, then maybe it'd be time to focus more on PvP. The second option would be to go the opposite route. So this is when you make a bunch of accounts with pretty good weapons. So you can find a bunch of steals at level 2, right? So they only cost like 0.1 skill, and you get like plus 280 of the same attribute, as opposed to like a level 5 weapon, which may be like 2-3 skill on average. So that's literally 30 times more than what you can pay. And with that 5-star weapon, you could have bought 5 different other characters. So maybe a 5-star will give you an extra 40 to 50%. However, 4 or 5 more characters, that's 400 more percent. So just like before, if the ROI on PvP, as in the 5-star weapon right here, let's put that in, is less than 1.2 months, then it makes sense to do PvP. So what's my personal plan going forward? It's to still focus on creating multiple accounts to accumulate these characters while they're still strong, as the new characters will be weaker. This is especially prevalent in this massive dip where you can probably get characters for like $20, $16, and maybe in the future, once the economy is fixed, maybe the characters become like $40, $50, right? And then by the time it's fixed, your old characters will not only be stronger, but they'll make even more money from the fixed economy. So this seems like the most sure way bet to make the most out of this opportunity. And for weapon reforging, so we don't know how much PvP will give ROI. So once that comes out, we can change this. But as of now, the ROI on weapon reforging to max it out with 1500 LB with the level 1, 2, 3 weapons is around 1.75 months. So this will give you an extra 10 to 12% more gains, while a new character, the ROI is 1.2 months with a solid like 2, 3-star weapons. So it really doesn't make sense to max out your weapons unless you really want to, or you want to go that PvP route. But as of now, creating these characters which will be stronger in the future and will earn more once the economy is fixed is the more practical bet. And then a second income source will be to just continue flipping level 5 weapons or even characters whenever people panic sell. And then the third one would be to continue staking and storing up skill on the side to prepare for the Kingdom land sale and King token release, to not only buy these lands, buy some King tokens which will be used in the new game, but to also flip skill when maybe at 2, 3, 4x's from this point. Lastly, a very important thing would be to continue monitoring the progress of the game, right? So how the developers, moderators interact with the Discord, how they update, etc. So a real possibility that I can see coming is that the developers can still rug pull after the King token sale and also the lands sale in the Kingdom. So they might do a bunch of promotions where they bring in a bunch of users and then they hype it up, skill goes up a bunch, then they sell off their skill tokens, then they make bank off the token and land sales, then they abandon the project. So even though this isn't as likely, as the developers have been very motivated in their transparency through GitHub with like 50 other developers working on it, and also them doing a bunch of Ask Me Anythings and interviews on YouTube's, which is a dope sign. And they're also backed by that Seedify fund, which will help them grow the game along with access to Binance resources after winning that previous competition. However, it's important to know that this is still a realistic scenario, right? So I personally don't see them dumping. However, if they were to dump, this would be the perfect time to just dump the tokens and then just like GTFO and never be seen again, right? So in order to counteract this very real possibility, I will still reallocate my Cryptoblades profits to other businesses and safer protocols, so such as the ones mentioned before in the other guide, like the Pancake Swap, Curve, 1-inch MDX staking for the safer ones, and then other crypto businesses too, like the Axie scholarships or arbitrage deals. I'm looking into Dungeon Swap to see if they're able to fix their economy, and other games too. So there's a bunch of incoming games which you can create similar businesses. So there's no need to get FOMO from Cryptoblades. There will be many other much better ones to come. So I currently allocate around 30% to the other games, the other businesses, but also 30% into Cryptoblades for reinvesting into continually get more characters, get better weapons, and to grind more and more for that ultimate flip near the end. So Hope you guys found something useful. Feel free to check out the other guide. That's where I posted a bunch of tools that I found the most useful. So hope it helps, and talk to y'all next time.